Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, whenever you are, in the past, present, or future. Welcome to another scene in the Living World of Darkness Changeling 20th venue. Our scene is set outside a seaside restaurant in, where is it? No, probably wouldn't be Manhattan. It's probably wherever you guys are from. Where are you guys from?
Brooklyn.
We're going to Brooklyn. And it's a restaurant Charles hasn't been to before, and he's sitting at the table waiting for people. Obviously, in his human form, he's or human seeming. He seems otherwise perfectly normal as he's just sort of waiting on the menu. 3 chairs have been and a table for 4 as he's waiting for people. In the chimerical version of him, however, he's it's still that strange otherworldliness, like a carved statue, marble statue of a Sheed with long ivy for hair, stained glass window eyes, and those sharp diamond teeth. But over him is like almost like a tablecloth draped as a slightly translucent black veil, as he is just reading over the menu.
As Charles is sitting there, Carina is walking along towards the pathway of the diner. In her tow, she has her good friend Ron, and they're kind of mentor-y little buddy. And they actually don't really have a term for her, but they're Brooke, who
that's the term. They're Brooke.
They're Brooke, who is one of 2 subjects in the nice little discussion that they're going to have. And Karina's just kind of trudging along. She's going to kind of look at Brooke every now and then, hoping that this talk goes well. She trusts Brooke. It's just Brooke has a temper, and so does Carina, seriously. So, like, maybe she'll watch herself, too. Fuck, she hopes this works.
Charles looks up, and he smiles underneath that veil, and he waves the girls down, or the ladies down, I should say.
Karina's going to keep her spearheaded kind of position in their little trio and make their way to the seat across from him. Hey, and she will slide in.
Ron comes trailing in after Carina, probably just a few steps behind. And he's not like walking with his head down like normal. He's actually got it up, but it's still not in like the head held high position. It's just like kind of just barely looking around the room so that he knows where to go and stuff like that. He really hates restaurants. He hates anywhere with a lot of people. And his friends keep dragging him to crowded places.
Chris, sorry, he said lunch, damn it.
I know. It's fine. So he'll take a seat closest to the wall so that he can kind of like make himself invisible to the rest of the world.
In response to the little wave that Charles did, Brooke will she won't curtsy, but she'll kind of nod her head in acknowledgement and that kind of thing. Sit down next to Carina.
I think I'd be lying if I said I would be surprised that it'd be the trio. You all seem very much joined at the hip together.
Well, we look out for each other. Or at least we do our best to.
Ah, yes. Sorry, one moment. Please don't stand on my... Well, obviously, I'm hoping everyone's seated already in character. But anyway, it's like, well, as long... So, without cutting too much to, well, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Well, let's speak about that. Keep some level of business going on here. I believe we had talked a while back, Carina, about a walrus.
Yeah.
Or something involving a walrus.
Yeah, don't trust the walrus. Yep. Rude bitch back in biology. You know, Ron? She'll say nudging Ron.
Sorry. Repeat that one more time.
Yeah, that rude bitch that works with us.
Oh, you call her the walrus.
Well, she is the walrus handler.
Ron is just grinning.
Honestly, Walter.
Please tell me she has a friend who's a carpenter.
You know,
or an Eggman.
She does have an on and off fiance. We never know. Anyway, I'm pretty sure she's skimming off funds. I mean, just things you notice while you work late night shifts, and things Ron has noticed too. She always seems just something wrong, and all of her paperwork is just a little sketchy. I mean, sometimes I clean the offices when I have nothing to do, because like I want to wait until Ron gets home. So I just kind of poke around, and just some of the numbers don't make sense. And I'm not a real learned girl, but yeah, I know my numbers with money. That shit seems a little wrong, which is why I'm saying I feel like she's skimming off algae from the top.
I see. So, what paperwork is it specifically, or where do you suspect she's mostly skimming these funds from?
Considering how Walter is always sick, either she's skimming off funds for his medicine or she's actively taking his medicine.
So possibly even selling it. Huh. I'll have to ask a few people at the precinct of what... Perhaps you can give me a list of the medications the walrus is supposed to get. Maybe I can figure out with a few people.
Ron would probably know since he works in closer quarters, or at least the same general whereabouts.
He turns his attention to Ron.
I mean, again, I just know my numbers.
Ron looks like he's zoned out for a moment. He hears his name and goes, "Huh?"
I'm told that you might know about about what kind of medicine the walrus is supposed to be getting.
Oh, yes, I do. And
he takes out a notebook.
Yeah, he'll describe what it's supposed to be.
Carina had just finished explaining that she thinks that the walrus handler is either skimming off money from Walter's actual medicine or stealing the actual medicine because he gets sick a lot and there's a lot of extra money floating around.
Yeah,
we're looking at something else. Sure,
Ron kind of... I was a little oblivious, yeah. That's why I said Ron was oblivious. Ron kind of scratches his head and he goes, "Yeah, I've kind of suspected something for a little while. Carina hates her more than I do, so she pays more attention."
But
I'm
you still
really
notice
observant when I don't like something.
I still notice there's something off, and the walrus should not be that sick.
Seriously, that meant that thing eats better than the rest of us. You seen that shit in the cafe?
Like, she took a week off for vacation once, and Walter wasn't sick at all. So,
have we considered the fact that she might actually be? Have you considered the fact she might actually be poisoning the walrus?
Well, why would she do that? To get more medicine so she can sell it?
I mean, maybe. I mean, weren't they talking about cutting more people? Walter's not that much of an attraction. You are.
Our funding's been cut a little bit. He's like, he stops and goes, "What?"
No, oh, you don't listen to the gossip like I do because you're not cool with all the janitors. But yeah, they're skimming people off. You're not on this because, well, everyone likes our darling little seals. But Walter, yeah. I mean, he's out of commission most of the fucking year. And maybe there's a reason. If She's actually
Well,
making Walter sick.
If she's making Walter sick and the aquarium is considering cutting his exhibit because he's always sick, so it could be a ploy for her to get rid of him so that there's more money for her. I don't know.
Right now, it's mostly just speculation. I'll have to do a little bit of investigating on my own. What did you say our Walrus's handler's name was again?
Her name. Karina gets like
Maya.
a sour look. Her name. She'll look at Brooke. Don't laugh. Her name
I'm gonna laugh.
Happens to be Cersei. She's not a Lannister.
Brooke.
Ron actually does
Brooke.
laugh. He gets that reference because he is a secret Game of Thrones fan.
Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing. It's just a smile.
I mean, there's a reason why I called her Water Witch. Well, Water Bitch, but still.
But you can tell that he didn't actually put that together, that, you know, the Game of Thrones thing and her name, because he's so used to calling her that stupid bitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's her real name, so...
Plus, like, actively yelling out, Dr. McGinnis! When you're mad is just so annoying. But Water Bitch! Or that bitch. That's so much more gratifying. At least in Karina's head.
And do we know her last name?
McGinnis. Cersei McGinnis.
Wow, that is not a Lannister name.
I told you she wasn't a Lannister.
How much do you... This fiancé you mentioned, how much do you know about her fiancé?
I know the rock isn't that big.
Ooh.
Ron shoots Maya a look like, hey.
Ron.
Karina
Ron.
a look. Ron shoots Karina a look. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
It's all right. Ron. I've told you about the things I've done. I know rocks. That rock? No, that's like from a K Jewelers in a mall that's run down, but like it's got like maybe 5 actively working stores that are like little mini outlets, and that's bare bones kind of shit. Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's the kind of rock I would put that as. Which will kind of flip her hair back because she knows her money.
Charles has just been writing things down. Do we know where she lives?
I know she doesn't live in Brooklyn.
Okay.
She drives, so maybe Long Island. I don't know anyone who actively drives and yet lives in the city. Morons, a lot of them.
Let's see. What's her usual routine when it comes to lunch?
I mean, I have different lunch hours sometimes. Sometimes I meet up with Ron. Sometimes I see her. Sometimes we both see her. I come in and grab everything I can. She kind of sniffs at me, like the sea bitch she is, and kind of just avoids me. It could just be my natural charm. But fuck if I know. Sea bitch.
Do we know if she has any hobbies?
Besides being a bitch?
He sort of just raises an eyebrow like, yes, more than just being a bitch.
I mean, she likes picking on the janitorial crew, which is why they won't clean out her office, so I have to.
So she has her own office.
Mm-hmm. She's the head biologist or marine biologist, whatever, for Walter, so she gets her own little office.
How long has she been working there?
Longer than I have.
How long have you worked there?
I've been here for like 2-3 years, maybe. Less.
Well, I've been working there since before I graduated because I interned there. So I've been working there for like 4 years. There since I started there as an intern. I actually interned under her for a while.
Seepage. So she's more of a staple than we are.
Brooke, have you ever met her?
No. I generally only stay around the exhibits that I actually have an interest in.
Ron's exhibit.
Yes, and the sharks.
This
I love the sharks.
Bonita.
And the little places where you get to touch the jellyfish.
Horseshoe crabs.
And them. I love horseshoe crabs. They're so cute. Little ancient babies.
Carina gets like this dreamy look just talking about Bonita. It's kind of dazed. There's a lazy smile and you see teeth.
Ron likes talking about Bonita. Ron had very close personal encounter with that shark.
Yeah! Bonita wanted that ass. I do not say that in character.
That'd be interesting in Charles's notes. Shark wanted that ass.
It's still ass. Seal's ass are just full of
She
love,
wanted that
of course.
silky ass.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so we don't know much about her habits. We don't know much about what she does outside of things. We know she has a on and again, off again fiance with a minuscule rock.
Very minuscule. Every time they break up, she has a fit. Who has to clean it?
Wait, she actually
Me.
makes
That's me.
messes at her work?
Yeah, she's quote unquote clumsy.
Uh-huh.
Who's usually initiating the breakup?
I don't know. I just
Probably
hear
her
yelling
so
at
she
phone.
can get the fucking attention. Ron's got some salt. He says
Oh, just
probably her so she can get the attention.
He eventually puts his pen down for a moment and closes the notebook as he sort of considers this for a moment. At least from what you've described to me, we are definitely dealing with a narcissistic personality.
nuts. Calling it nuts is easy too.
It's important to know the proper definitions. If you want me to, shake her up a bit?
Yes. Shake up the Walrus, bitch.
Yeah, he's got to know exactly what he's dealing with.
Unfortunately, I don't have enough information with what you've given me.
It's okay. You can always visit our job.
It's probably best that if I don't visit during a time she's actually there, or I'm not there on a regular basis. If I show up and it comes around of what I am and what I do, less of an impact when I first meet her.
I mean, we don't talk about you at all.
Maybe we can just do some snooping, Carina.
Does
Follow
that
her
mean I
home
get to
one
see
day.
Gran again?
Yeah, you can
Employee
follow her.
records usually have people's living addresses on them for tax information.
Sneaky, sneaky,
Yeah, I suppose I can
sneaky.
get in the office. I have keys to everything. I just don't go through people's personal shit. But I can.
Well, if you want me to do a effective job, unfortunately, we're going to have to get a little dirty. Already, this is getting a little. Already, me going into investigations that I'm not authorized for, or part of a police force for, or something that may not even be being investigated, is a rather sticky situation. So, if I'm going to make this an effective impact, I need to have all the cards in my hands.
Hey, I'm all for shaking her up. Carina is actively like putting her fingers together and clanking her nails.
I'm very fine with doing that. I can get the information, at least what we have on file at the aquarium.
Someone will have to, following her home's not a bad idea, get some information on the boyfriend, right? Try to get a little bit of information about what their relationship is, the dynamic is like.
Can I bring them?
If you want.
Okay.
Just don't get caught.
Carina's gonna look at Ron while she's thinking. No, maybe not. Maybe not. That'd be a bad idea, right, Ron?
He just kind of nods.
Possibly find out.
So maybe I'll
find some of her friends.
Maybe I'll take
Friends.
her boyfriend out for like a thing. I don't really do boy stuff, but we'll figure out something, I'm sure.
I mean, take him to a bar.
Well, I
get him
work
drunk.
out. I guess we can go to the gym.
Well, that
Take him
depends
to
if
a
he's the
bar.
kind of
Get him drunk.
depends if he's the kind of guy who's into the gym. If it's an off again, on again relationship, and if we're looking at her, he's probably kind of more of a pushover.
They're generally
This is
mean
true.
sometimes, though. Maybe Ash has a good
that means I'm probably gonna have to do more talking than I want to. He looks a little perplexed by that.
It's okay. We'll do a game plan tonight over ice cream.
Okay.
Probably
That
the people
sounds-
integrating into her life shouldn't be people that she's aware of or who know her all that well.
Brooke
Side
turns
eye,
to
Brooke.
Karina, waves her hand.
Karina immediately looked at Brooke. Hey kid,
Well,
want to make 50
yeah.
bucks? Want to make 50 bucks?
I mean, if there's money in it.
Done. We'll talk at home.
Fuck yeah.
This is how we start drugs, kids.
Not me.
This
thank
is how
you.
we.
Unless drugs are swimming.
No, this is how we start gangs.
I mean, we already kind of.
I mean,
We're all kind of. We're all. Kind
Karina
of
will
already
kind
in
of cover her mouth, cover Brooke's mouth. Shh.
What was she
There be
saying?
mortals. Brooke was saying, "Oh, we're kind of in a gang." Karina's just like covers mouth.
Oh,
There be
Ron
mortals.
said the same thing. He's like, well, we're already kind of in one.
Looks at Ron. Do you not know the law? Don't go spilling out the G word.
It's fine.
Angry-looking brown girl, really muscular brown boy, tiny little white girl. You don't think someone's gonna think it's sketchy?
Brooke just
And
flexes, and
If
you
they
see
think-
those
If
muscles.
people think,
She is. No,
if people think
You were so
I'm
tiny.
sketchy, they need an eye exam.
she's not
We
tiny. She's
are-
5'7".
To Karina, that's tiny, even though Karina's like 5'2".
She's bigger than you.
Not in Karina's head, damn it. Karina's like 7
like-
feet in her family. You shut the fuck up.
Wait, how? Oh yeah, your Faye means 7 feet tall. Yeah, Charles isn't that tall. So, not even in Faye seeming, he's
And,
not that tall.
and let me finish. We are all in a meeting with a very posh suit-wearing white guy. You don't think that's kind of sketchy to some people?
Oh, the Crips leader,
I
from
saw
what
this
I
in an
understand, the Crips leader, from what I
I saw this
understand,
on an
is well
episode of-
dressed.
Thank you. I saw this on an episode of Law and Order. No, don't go yelling out the G word. I'm not going back to jail. Fuck.
You've been in jail.
Anyway. Shut up. Anyway. I mean, not jail here. There are worse jails in the world. Anyway, back to business.
So yes, the more information you can get me on her and her personal life, what she likes, what she dislikes. Well, we obviously know she dislikes you, but I mean more certain things. Is she afraid of spiders? Does she?
No. I've tried.
Well, as I said, we need to find these things out. Try and integrate some of her friends. Maybe, I don't know. What is that everyone's using? Facebook? If her profile is open,
Maybe.
just stalk that shit for some time.
Yeah. Okay.
Karina,
But
when's her next shift?
tomorrow.
What time tomorrow?
Like 2.
Okay,
That's
I'll
when I
be
go to
there.
work. I see her all day.
I know, but that's how I can meet her.
All right. You'll be making the $50 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Schmooze and shit.
I will.
Talk about how great her hair is. She loves to talk about that shit.
Not how good she takes care of the walrus.
That Walrus is always sick. Do you really want?
True.
Actually, try and find out what type of shampoo she wears.
Sneaky, sneaky.
I'll see if I can get close enough to get a sniff.
Better if you can get me brand labels.
I can think of a few ways to do that.
Simply put, you want me to shake her? I need to get her down to where it's personal. Make her feel like we've been scouring everything, down to whether or not she's using L'Oreal because she's worth it.
She is not.
Well, I believe at that moment, I'm not sure what else I can ask as of this moment. If I think of anything, I'll text you. Otherwise, this is not going to be a situation that's going to be resolved in a day. This is going to take some investigation and time, and for me to construct a profile. And if you actually happen on the off chance to maybe get a few pictures or make a few copies of some of the erroneous documents, might be helpful.
I do have screenshots if you want.
Send them on over.
Sends Charles a bunch of texts. Mm-hmm. She knew she would need them one day.
Very good.
All right, and now that that's out of the way, for the not so gray and dreary shit.
Something a bit more colorful.
And we are full of color.
Ron snickers. He doesn't know whether to laugh or be offended.
Oh, wow. Ron, no. Ron, no. Ron, no.
Okay, mock offended. He wouldn't actually be offended.
No. Karina's actually saying that. Ron, no, wait. Ron, no. Son of a bitch, not again. Curse me in my mouth.
Oh. No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm not offended, really.
Okay.
So I guess are we going to the next matter now?
Yeah.
Ron wrinkles his nose.
Time to start the scene in the frickin' dice roller.
Oh, the scene's been in the dice roller.
Oh, I haven't checked.
It's in Changeling Dice Roller. It's called the Walrus.
Nice! You should have put and the Carpenter.
No Carpenter yet. Carpenter when we find him.
Or the Eggman,
Plus the Walrus
depending.
has double. Plus the Walrus has a double meaning here.
They've got big chompers, you know.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't trust them with your young.
Mm-hmm. Or oysters.
Sea things. Things from the sea. Don't trust the walrus with things from the sea. They taste good.
So what matter is being brought to my attention? Gray or otherwise? Colored or otherwise?
There was a conversation earlier in the day that I believe Ron would like to share.
Yes, I went and spoke with Shea regarding her and Brooke. I asked her for the reason why she decided to use her teeth.
And what reason was that?
She told me that.
Sorry.
She told me that she's only been changeling for like 7 months, which I didn't know. Her mentor kind of fucked off and didn't really teach her anything. So she said that she didn't know that her teeth could kill somebody. She used the fight and the rules said that you could use teeth. She used the fight as a mode to test them out and quickly realized that was the wrong place to do it.
Interesting.
She said that she now knows to never use her teeth unless she intends to kill somebody, and she won't ever use them on her friends.
Interesting. That's not what she told me.
Oh?
Really?
She told me the reason she used her teeth on Brooke was because of respect.
Oh, really now?
She said that the reason she used her teeth was because she respected you not to hold back.
So she's a little liar.
Here's the thing.
Or she's at least lying to one of us. It's just a matter of which one.
Who
Yeah,
does she want to lie
exactly.
to more? I mean, Ron, we were thinking about letting her into a special little club. But the talks were never official, and now that's dead in the water. Why would she want to lie to you, Charles? What do you have that she wants a hold of? Or wants to find attention for?
At the time, she didn't have anything.
But she does now.
Well, it's more of a complication and a wrinkle. We haven't discussed it yet, but...
That sounds like an open-ended thing.
Until that conversation happens, it's a little closed.
You guys don't do open-ended things.
No, we do not.
And...
It's another important thing that she mentioned. She did say that she'd be willing to submit to a formal punishment for what she did to Brooke.
Good. At least she accepts what will be coming to her. I mean, she can't not accept the punishment. If she runs, will it be even worse?
Oh, for sure.
To be fair, she's been running for over a month.
No one's been talking. I mean, we were going to, but just things kept on happening. We couldn't go out at night. We work all day, and Ron and the Neva convinced me to not outright murder her. So my arms were a little tied.
I mean, we wouldn't want you to be in trouble with the Ashit either.
No, I have been approached by several parties.
Oh?
On the event that if I should ever be speaking to someone of authority, they keep saying that they want to try and handle this themselves and say they don't want the authorities involved in the situation, that they can handle it themselves, and yet they still say that the commoners aren't trying to govern themselves.
Would you be willing to divulge the identity of these individuals?
I mean, who do we know that coddles her?
Misha.
Definitely
That's one.
Misha.
And Misha whines every time you're mean to her, Carina.
Oh, is her little heart broken because I don't like her butting into business that isn't hers?
And she texted me and said that Brooke was rude to her the other day.
Is she snitching on us now? Ron?
She hasn't said anything.
Well, I asked her to be nice to Brooke. And because I told her that I've taken responsibility for Brooke's education, I guess she thinks that every time she gets mad at her, she can tell me because I'm her. I don't know. She told me, she asked me to talk to Brooke.
Brooke's dad.
She asked me to talk to Brooke and ask Brooke to be nice to Misha. Which I would like it if we got along. But I know your temper, Brooke.
But here's the thing.
I also don't like murder apologists.
I understand that.
No,
maybe
I wouldn't. I don't blame you. If anything, if someone were to kill me and I had the miracle coming back, I don't think I'd be apologizing to them. Or if I did, there'd be poison.
Rare miracle. Rare. Charles, I've been around for so long. I've only met one other person that has that gift.
I don't understand why there's such hostility towards Brooke when she's the one who fucking died.
Oh, because they blame me for doing it because I actually went into the fight, and Shea is not responsible for her actions.
Oh no, Shea is responsible for your actions, but in some respects, so are you, Brooke.
And I have paid the price for that. With my life, my home, and my job.
Everything's fallen apart, but a new slate, and build yourself anew.
And that's
Yep.
what I have decided to do.
Now, if only it could happen for the other one, so that they learn the consequences of their actions. Because even if they are technically quite young, someone, and I know she knows people, someone should have known that she wasn't being mentored. Someone should have known. She works where? At Vixen?
Yeah,
She's
Apparently
you're
she was
supposed to
somewhere
have a
else
mentor.
before.
You're supposed to have a mentor for a year and a day, and she's only 7 months.
You're telling me
So-
Vixen never reached out to her mentor, or where she works
Or
somewhere else? Gorgon Sisters,
she-
right?
Or
she
she's
lied.
lying.
And she has been around for a year and a day.
Or maybe she
That's a
doesn't even
common
know.
theme, isn't it, among us? Year and a day.
Year, a
that's
day,
adulthood.
a moon and a day. Usually it's time plus a day.
For us,
It's rooted in old traditions.
Oh, I definitely know that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's what upsets me about her little teeth thing. The first time I used my teeth, I was very, very young, and I was upset because my father decided that I couldn't play with dolls and burned them all. And I wanted to hurt him. I wanted to hurt him so badly. So I opened my mouth and I took a chunk out of his arm. I wanted to hurt him. I wanted to have him feel some sort of semblance of pain. I wanted to feel that satisfaction. And I did for a moment before he backhanded me and I fell through the door. But you actively want to sink your teeth into something, to separate it, to have that fill your maw, and maybe you swallow, or maybe you spit. Spitters are quitters, though. But you actively activate it. That is like going forth and punching someone in the face. Maybe in hindsight, it's not the best idea.
But it
But you do
feels
it.
oh so
You
damn
pull
good,
back.
doesn't it?
It does. And it's a conscious choice that you make because, oh, it's so satisfying. There's no way you can accidentally activate your teeth. Unless, of course, you are under the influence. But even then, the back of your head, you want to sink your teeth into something and separate it to feel full in just the mere moments that you can. There's no such fucking thing as not knowing. And from what Brooke has told me about the separation of her leg and her body, Shea used Brooke's own momentum to rip the leg out. Now, when I bit my father, I just wanted to tear a chunk. But she went for the full Monty. She went for the limb. Not even I, or a troll, or a fucking dragon, or anything would survive a whole limb being ripped off with such force, with your body's own weight
3/4 of a
ripping
limb.
it.
Ron,
3/4
Ron
of a
says,
limb.
you know, now that I think about it, if she was actually just testing her teeth, she wouldn't have done that. She would have just, as you said, taken a chunk out of somewhere.
Mhm.
She wouldn't have went to rip off a whole limb.
I mean,
He
when
gets
you're
his
little,
notebook out again. He's actually writing a few things down.
I mean, when you're little, you kind of test it on everything. You open your maw and you just kind of nom and nom and nom, and you leave marks everywhere. The marks on my father's ships, just metal pieces with my little teeth. You do it. You know it. You want to leave a trail behind you. Just, this was my piece. This is my brick. This is my anchor. This is my rope. And the other pieces of rope. Wait, there's a lot of rope here. It's yours. But that's when you're a child. If she's technically a child in an adult's body and she's feeling these urges, she would have felt them a while ago. It wouldn't have taken her 7 months to activate her teeth because I'm sure she's gotten into fights before. I don't know any red cap that hasn't gotten into a fight within their first month. We just butt heads ever so naturally. I call it our charm. And even though she likes to play as being all sweet and caring, and she's got a really big heart, I don't buy it. Because you don't take a chunk out of friends, and you definitely don't test an untrained weapon onto them. At least not like
that's
that.
just kind of common sense, isn't it?
Something she might be lacking in.
And then there's the fact that even if she's only 7 months old, changeling time, at the time that this happened, I wasn't even a month old, changeling time. There's still a difference
That's
of
true.
7 or 6 months there.
To your 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that it's also the establishment's fault. Honestly, you're going to run an illegal fighting ring, but you're not going to have barriers in all the fights.
Especially when they said
All
that
of
the reason they had the barrier was because Misha
Louise.
and June were new to the fights.
And so were you.
Thea were new to the fights as well.
And do they not
But
know
you
about
did the
red cap
barrier.
teeth? Do they not know about red cap teeth? I mean, really, you'd put a
Well,
red cap
given
in with
that
anybody.
as we were
Why would
walking
you allow
into
biting?
the cage, one of the guys said, "You can use your teeth." As we were walking into the cage, after it was stated what we would actually be doing, which was supposed to be a bare knuckles fist fight.
So the establishment allowed red cap teeth into a bare knuckle fist fight.
They did.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't even use regular
seems
teeth.
pretty negligent. That seems pretty negligent, honestly.
And while everyone at the fight is at fault in some way or another, the people who are actively apologizing, who are actively coddling the murderer and actively antagonizing the victim, who literally paid the price of her inexperience with her life, coddle that murderer. That murderer maybe feels a little bit of guilt, but what? Completely ignores the victim's personal space and tries to interject. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. But hey, you're alive. Well, attackers don't always kill their victims. Sometimes the victims are still alive. And hey, that doesn't mean the attacker gets to go free and the victim isn't left with scar and traumatization because someone they knew attacked them for no reason.
As I've explained to those that have requested that I don't speak about what happened to authorities.
Misha and Shay, I'm sure, and whoever their other friends are.
Depends on how many names you want.
Maybe Gwen, but I feel like Gwen
There's
would invite
William.
into things.
You've named two
William.
more.
Wait, William
What?
did that?
William called a meeting with me to try and facilitate a peaceful resolution. I agreed to get you and Shea together for a mediated discussion.
And was this before or
Cool.
after I had actually met him?
I don't know. This was like last week,
Okay.
maybe
I've got a
almost 2
question.
weeks ago now, actually.
I've got a question. If he's so buddy-buddy with Redcaps, why didn't he branch out to me? Me, who was actively taking both Shea and Brooke under my wing. It's just a little rude. But I guess maybe he's not such a Redcap lover after all. He just will allow his favorite Redcap to go off and murder.
Well,
Maybe? Who knows?
Well, without trying to say that you speak for the entirety of the red cap population here in New York City, what's been the word on their end when it comes to this? Has this been discussed with them?
In New York, there are only so many Redcaps. We do butt heads a lot, and when we find each other, we tend to form little quarries. I left my father's warband, which is like a bunch of corgis put together. So I'm not so buddy-friendly with the new ones here. But I do know that we do not like when trouble finds us from one of our own. If the other kids, the other people, like to have their little rumors on what we like to eat, what we like to do with what we find to eat, how we like to party, well, y'all can go fuck yourselves. But when one of us causes a trouble, no, we handle that. We handle it ourselves. I'm only surprised no one's actually handled it on their end. But maybe they're waiting.
All
Because
depends.
in honesty, I should have been the one to do something.
Well,
We
I
get
am
rid of
going to
them
say this.
quietly.
I will say this. While it was begged of me to go and speak to Shea, which I did, and it's put me in an interesting position. Not something I can't handle, but an interesting position nonetheless. I was asked to go speak to her to get her side of the story, and maybe I'd feel something for her, some sympathy. I don't think it would take me for a bleeding heart. But I have told people this. It doesn't matter who says something. It doesn't matter. They can beg me not to say anything all I want. That's fine. All I've ever said is I won't talk about Shea unless I'm directly asked about it. Otherwise, it's no holds barred. But it doesn't matter whether it comes from me or it comes from someone else. Something's going to get around. And it's going to go up.
There are rumors.
Mm-hmm.
There are rumors, and since you guys got back, your ears are to the ground listening. And in honesty, I'm more surprised it took you this long. Not you per se, but your comrades.
As I said, it was only a delay of the inevitable. And if anything, that's going to go worse against them. Had Shea thrown herself at the mercy, maybe taken initiative, maybe things might go a little more smoothly, but the more time keeps ticking, the worse it's going to get. While you may not have a connection with most of the red cat population around here, it would be good to know what their opinion of this is.
I know, I just have to try to handle it. No one likes someone who leaves a warband, especially if the leader of the warband is their father.
Well, that depends. Will they hate someone who leaves a warband more than someone who gives the entire population a bad name?
You know, it's kind of a toss-up. I don't really know the American Red Caps yet. But I'll go see. I was planning on it anyway. I've bumped shoulders with these ocean dwellers for long enough. I might as well.
The sooner you can manage to figure them out together, the more useful it will be.
Do we know who has Shea currently?
Who has Shea? That sounds like some... Has she now?
Apparently it didn't happen too long ago.
I think it happened shortly after I met with her, which wasn't that long ago. Today.
Well, at least I can keep my promise that if I heard anything, that I would give the heads up to William and Shea. But since I didn't hear anything, I'm in the clear.
And this conversation hasn't happened. Nope.
Can't say that. But I can at least say that I didn't know that that danger was coming for her.
I mean, danger's coming for us all. Winter is coming. I mean, it's August. It's on its way anyway.
Brooke just looks at Carina.
Brooke, you know what I mean. It means nothing like that. I swear to God, you little Selkie, I'm going to...
Shea's in jail. There's almost like a... If anyone wants to P&E him,
yes.
You can do so.
Yes. Just P, because Carina doesn't understand empathy.
What difficulty? Is it?
It's just difficulty 6. It's not that difficult.
I get win.
You get 1.
I get to
Yay!
win.
I get one.
You get 1. Is Ron going? Oh, Ron's not here. Okay. Or yeah, he's
Ron
not
is dead.
Ron is dead. No. Okay.
He's just staring at whatever drink he has.
And just blankly into the distance. Well,
I'm
you
here.
get this?
I was
Okay.
just,
Okay.
my computer was lagging.
Okay. Sorry. If you want a P and E, Charles, you can go. So.
Or just pee.
Yeah, I was trying to get to the dice roller. I didn't get anything.
Oh well. Well, for you, 1 successors, it's a look of some degree of satisfaction. The source of that satisfaction is iffy, but it's like very much like
The cat that
Whale?
got the canary.
yeah, the cat got the canary.
Hey, he doesn't have to P&E. Karina's happy to say that Shay got arrested.
I'm sure William and Misha and Gwen and all those wonderful folks will come scurrying soon enough. Maybe to point fingers, maybe other things.
I mean, we did do a major taboo by even talking to you. Even though you have beautiful, shiny teeth.
Well, I think we're going to have to call this meeting together, but get me more information about your walrus.
Walrus.
And as I said, given the situation as it is right now, you might want to reach out to those other red caps sooner rather than later. Because
I know.
I'm just saying, one way or the other, getting the community to, well, have their say.
Getting a band together against a common goal is easier when you come in early and you get to feed them all. Or at least whet their appetites.
I think we've had a very good discussion today. Thank you all. I shall be going now. And he gets up and he shakes everyone's hand if they take it.
Brooke will.
Karina will shake his hand. Thank you for speaking with us, and we hope our information was as useful to you as yours was to us.
You have given me worlds. He just gives a smile.
To which Karina will kind of lightly swoon because beautiful diamonds.
Good afternoon. With that, he leaves.
Stay safe tonight.
And I think with that, if you guys want to do a separate scene later, that's all fine. But I think we'll call it here because I know it's late for some people. Thank you, players, for playing.
I gotta
Thank
go.
you, viewers, for watching. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever and whenever you are. Bye-bye.
Deuces.